Jesus said, "Whoever truly seeks the absolute truth must be persistent and unwavering in their faith and practice. When one finally uncovers it, they will be shaken, for the absolute truth will challenge everything they once believed and illuminate a new wisdom like a torch piercing the darkness. But beyond the turmoil of this realization lies profound self-discovery, one that transforms their entire being from merely existing in this material world to recognizing their true identity as an eternal soul. When fully awakened, they will see reality as it is, and move beyond the material illusions and distractions that once bound them. In this understanding, they will find mastery over the world, not through control, but through transcendence and surrender." With those words of Jesus in mind, we need to set a relentless pursuit of truth in motion. Spiritual seeking is not a passive endeavor, it is an unyielding pursuit of what is real and eternal. A life dedicated to full devotional service requires complete surrender, a willingness to unlearn all preconceived notions, and a readiness to abandon the familiar ways of life that once dictated one's existence. This is not a path of comfort but one of transformation, of stepping into the unknown and allowing divine truth to reshape one's very being. Many embark on this journey expecting reassurance, believing that truth will soothe and affirm their current beliefs. But in reality, true discovery shakes the foundations of everything they once held dear. It dismantles illusions, exposes falsehoods, and leaves the seeker in a state of deep disorientation, for the old self must dissolve before the true self can emerge. The need to transcend material illusion. In the modern world, where material distractions dominate and society is built upon self-idolization, renunciation, or at the very least, a conscious effort to mitigate these influences, is essential. Without breaking free from the endless cycle of gratification, external validation, and attachment to fleeting desires, one remains blind to the absolute truth. The seeker must recognize that the pursuit of divine wisdom requires an internal shift, a detachment from the false promises of the material world, and a willingness to embrace simplicity, humility, and surrender. Only then can one begin to approach the threshold of true realization. The path of devotion, an internal and external practice. Here is where we can utilize the practice of devotion to transform our work into a sacred offering of love and service. Devotion has two essential aspects, like two sides of the same coin: the inner work of contemplation and meditation, or Raja Yoga, and the outer work of selfless action, known as Karma Yoga. To advance spiritually, one must transcend the three modes of material existence: ignorance, passion, and even conditioned goodness. True freedom arises when the mind is purified and detached from these influences. This purification is achieved through consistent spiritual discipline such as prayer or mantra meditation, practiced for at least 1 to 2.5 hours daily. Though it requires effort, the beauty of this path is that progress is assured for those who persevere with sincerity. As we engage in this process, we become increasingly receptive to higher truths, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita. In this endeavor there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Furthermore, Krishna assures that spiritual progress is never lost. The unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people, or into a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. This gradual elevation brings one to a state of realization where the distractions of the material world lose their hold, and one steps into true spiritual awakening. Finding the gateway to liberation. This process is the purification of perception, the painful but necessary breaking away of conditioned thought, ego-driven desires, and attachments to the material world. Yet in this upheaval lies the potential for something far greater, an awakening that brings clarity, a vision that sees beyond fleeting appearances, and an existence rooted in divine love and ultimate reality. But this stage is not the end, it is the gateway. What follows is a profound astonishment, an awe at the vastness of divine reality, at the depth of existence beyond surface appearances. This is the moment where the seeker sees beyond the fleeting nature of the world and realizes their eternal identity. This realization is what grants them true sovereignty, not dominion over others, but liberation from the forces that once ruled them. The awakened soul moves through life with clarity, no longer dictated by fear, desire, or illusion. In knowing the truth, they have transcended the world itself.